Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Brett, and I'm going to be going over my Q1 reads with you guys. What I liked, what I didn't like. I'm basically going to speedrun everything I read in Q1 and give you like little blurbs on it, I guess. But I hope you like this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I feel like channel is so impersonal. Can we come up with a new word? Welcome back to my book nook. No, that's lame. Anyways, hi guys. It is the end of Q1. Well, actually, it's already Q2, and we're 6 days into May, so I'm late, but that's fine because no one ever expected me to be on time, anyways. So I have my reading log here, which is my little spreadsheet I made. Yeah, I'm gonna go through everything I read in Q1, and I'm gonna tell you the best books I read, the ones you could skip. Yeah, we're just gonna go through Q1 reads, just review Q1. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. I read 53 books, I believe. Yeah, I read 53 books in Q1. I did also break down. So 14 of them were from Kindle Unlimited. 23 of them were from Libby, but I read on my Kindle. And then 16 of them were from Libby, but I read audiobook or listened to the audiobook. I mainly listen and read from Libby and Kindle Unlimited, but yeah, I don't really do physical books, so unfortunate. And then I also did a genre. Wow, I can't talk. Genre breakdown. So I read 7 fantasy books. I read 4 lit fics, 2 mysteries, 23 romance, 13 romanticises, sci-fi 1, and then thriller 3. I classified the Throne of Glass rereads I did as fantasy. I just want to let everyone know that because I don't think they're romantasy. I think they're fantasy because the subplot of romance is very little. I don't know. I don't know how you guys, but I think they're fantasy. Anyways, I had only 2 5-stars in Q1. Very sad. The first one was The Jasad Crown, which is the second book in the Jasad Heir duology by Sarah Hashem. Brilliant book. I read that like literally the first couple days of January. Absolutely loved it. Astounding. That duology is amazing. I think the first book I rated 4.5 stars, and on the second book is 5 stars. Amazing. I actually got to recently meet Sarah Hashem at Bookcello. So good. And then the second book I read was a reread, so I don't think it counts. I don't think rereads count. I don't know. It was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas for the Throne of Glass reread we're doing for my book club. Yeah. So those are the only 2 5-stars I have. I have a couple 4.5 stars, like Dungeon Crawler Carl. I did 4.5 stars. Where else is a 4.5? 4.5. Oh, Big Fan by Alexandra Romanoff. It's one of the 831 stories. Very cute. It's like a boy band member and a politician. Very good book. I really enjoyed it, and it's sub 200 pages. What else could you ask for? This is a 4.5. Queen of Shadows. So another reread. I wonder, should I have taken out my... No, because I still read them. So they still count, but whatever. Also I read the second book in the Heavenly Bodies series. I don't think that's a series name, but it's the second book after Heavenly Bodies. It's called Fallen Stars. I rated that 4.5 stars. Absolutely amazing. I'm really excited for that series. I kind of didn't realize it's gonna be a 5-book series. I probably wouldn't have read it if I knew. No, I'm happy I read it. Okay, I'm really happy I read it. I love the series so far. But it's gonna be a 5-book series, and this book I just read, Fallen Stars, just came out. Okay, so that means the next book comes out in 2027. So then that means I'm probably not gonna be able to finish the series till 2029. That is so sad. Anyways, broken hearted over here. And then no, I have 2 other 4.5 stars. Yeah, I do. Oh my god, that's so nice. Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Finally read it this year. It's because we went to the Callie Hart interview for LA Fob, and I was gonna try to read it before we went, but of course I failed that mission because I was reading other books. But I read it afterwards, absolutely devoured it, loved it. And then my last 4.5 stars was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Why did I wait so long to read it? I actually talked about it in my last video, my last reading vlog. Oh my god, I don't know why I waited so long to read it. It was really good. And then it kind of like, I don't want to spoil anything, but it feels like the first book could be a standalone. I know the second, it's a trilogy. Sorry, am I talking? Not good. My pronunciation, subpar. My the second and third book, I don't know how it's gonna like come back in. Well, I guess I do because I've read the blurbs on them, but it was amazing. I'm excited to get back into the world. It felt like it closed up pretty nicely. I had a lot of four stars and 3 stars. Did I have anything under 3 stars that I want to talk about? I had a 2.5 star, A Study of Blood and Ichor by Katya Black. It was fine. It was average. 2.5 to 3 is like average to me. 2.5 is on the lesser side to me. But it was like 2 guys, 1 girl, magical romantasy vibe. But it just felt like the plot and the characters and the setting was underdeveloped. Honestly, if she would have developed that idea and developed the plot, she could have probably like been Throne of Glass level. Personally, I think like it's very interesting. But the characters kind of went from hating each other to loving each other in a couple chapters with no development. Like it just was. I was kind of confused when we got there. I was like, you like each other now? So very interesting. What other was like below 3 stars? To me, 3 stars is like worth a read. It's just average. You know, it's not blowing your socks off. I only had 1 other under 3 stars. That's actually pretty good. It was Do Your Worst by Rosie Danon, which I also talked about in my last video, so I read it recently. I read it audiobook, or I listened to it audiobook, and not that good. I honestly couldn't even tell you most of the plot points. It was like an archaeologist and this curse breaker, and they're working on a curse together. Yeah. It was another one of those where I was like, it didn't really grab my interest. The characters weren't really developed. I felt like we got point A to point B too quickly and without much development, you know? Yeah. What other... let's just go through. Wedding Witch, 3 stars, just on air, amazing. Heated Rivalry. I need to finish Heated Rivalry. I think I only read the first 2 books. I don't think I read the 3rd book. I actually remember I put the audiobook on hold at Libby and it came to fruition, and then I remember I had too many books checked out, so I suspended it. So maybe I should unsuspend it. Good idea. Finish it this year. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I only read the first book. I need to finish the series. I'm actually really excited to read it. I absolutely loved the first book. I think these might be my palette cleansers. Yeah, like when I need something fun and fluffy. So I think I want to read the 2nd book soon. But that's the plan. We'll see if it comes to fruition. It's In His Kiss, which is the Bridgertons. Is that the last one? I think so. I don't even remember this book. That's sad. Is that the last one? I think it is. I don't see any other Bridgertons on here. I think that's the last Bridgerton book I read, and I finished it in January. So I finished the Bridgertons. I finished them anyways, even if this isn't the last book. I just don't see the last book on this list, but I finished all the Bridgertons. I think the Bridgertons are worth the read, personally. I had an absolutely lovely time reading them, and I did all the audiobooks. I didn't read them on my Kindle, and the audiobook I would say is so worth it if you want a fun, silly, goofy Regency era romance. I had such a good time with them. Yeah, they're not like gonna blow your socks off or be classics. Actually, they might be classics because of the potency and the Netflix, but I really enjoyed them. They're really fun. So highly recommend if you want like Regency era romance. And then we're rereading my next books, a lot of them Sarah J Maas for Throne of Glass. Actually, for my book club that I'm in right now, we are on Kingdom of Ash, so we should be done. We gave ourselves 6 weeks to read Kingdom of Ash, also because all of us are kind of busy, because I know I'm going out of town this weekend, and then I have EDC next weekend after that, so I know I'm going to be busy at least. And I remember the other members of my club also were busy, so we gave ourselves a little extra time to read it. But I'm really excited to reread Kingdom of Ash. I loved it. We also didn't do the tandem read for book club. So we read Empire first and then Tower of Dawn. So we just ended on Tower of Dawn. So I'm really excited to get to Kingdom because I miss Aelin. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. I need to read the third book in Windy City series. They didn't have it at the library. What a crime is that, guys? Because I listened to The Right Move on audiobook and I absolutely adored it. I know a lot of people thought it was too cheesy and too much and too trying to be too emotional, but I absolutely adore Liz Tom Ford's main characters. Loved it. Really excited for book 3. I think we bounce to baseball, if I remember correctly, and they're on Kindle Unlimited, which I did not know. So I downloaded it on Kindle Unlimited, but I'm not allowing myself to read it until I finish everything else on my Kindle, so it might sit there for a while, unfortunately, unless the library magically adds it, then it's my loophole. Yeah, but I love that series. Highly recommend if you like sports romance. Then The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. That is the Thursday Murder Club second book. The second book was better than the first book in my opinion, and I'm really excited to continue the series. This is another one that I put on hold at the library immediately, and then it came to fruition and I had too many books, so I suspended it. So I will eventually get to reading the third book, but I have other things to read first. I feel like I always have other things to read. Maybe I should prioritize finishing the series I'm in the middle of. That'd be a great idea, but am I ever gonna do it? No. Then I read Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Amazing. You should read it if you like werewolf romance. A lot of people didn't like it. I could not be one of them. I absolutely adored it. So whatever. I rated it 4 stars, which is kind of crazy to me when I look back. Then Assassin's Blade, another Throne of Glass rereading. The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson. Whoa. It was like a thriller horror. I'd be careful reading it. I feel like you really need to read the warnings. If you like Silence of the Lambs type vibe, it's not cannibal, but if you like that type of vibe and Criminal Minds, but even darker, I think you would like this. It was kind of mind warping. I don't know, I really liked it though. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars because I'm the type of person that really likes it. I mean, I majored in forensic and legal psychology. That's my master's. So obviously I'm gonna like a book like that, but if you're really sensitive to those things, don't read it. You know? Okay. So then Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonin Young, amazing. Really want to continue to the second book. Yeah, highly recommend. A Study of Blood and Gore, we already talked about it. Air of Fire, yeah, reread, that's why. Oh, The Idiot by Elif Botman. Girl, what? I don't know what that book was. I gave it 3.25 stars, but that is a book I still think about. So maybe I should up the rating because it just was so nonsensical. It didn't have a plot. It was just vibes. It was about this student's freshman year and it was just jumbled. It was her writing in her diary, but it wasn't even in chronological order, it felt like. Honestly, I feel like everyone should read it. It was amazing. I really loved it. Just wow. I still think about it, so maybe I should raise my rating, but it was good. It was really good. On the Way to the Wedding, Julia Quinn. I think that's the last one of the Bridgertons. Again, recommend. One Day by David Nichols. Really good. I was recommended this by my coworker who loves reading as well. And she did not tell me anything about it before I picked it up. I just got it from the library and I was like, okay, I'm starting to read it this weekend. And she was like, okay. Didn't know anything about it except it was 2 best friends. If you know what the ending got me. And I've never seen the show either, so that's why she also didn't want to tell me anything. Oh my god. Okay, then Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I love that entire series by Elsie Silver. I think I finished all of the Wilds. The Wild whatever love, Wild Eyes, Wild Side. I forget what the last one is. Is it Wild Side? No. What's the last one? Wild Card. I just looked it up. Loved all of those. Elsie Silver, love you. She's up there with the stage for me. Love you. Okay, highly recommend if you like cowboy country rural romance, small town romance. Big fawn. Um, Big Fan by Alexander Romanov. Already talked about it. Love. Highly recommend. All 831 stories I kind of recommend. They're really good. They're really short. Easy to read. Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I enjoyed it. I actually watched a lot of videos on YouTube of people not liking Lucy Foley's writing, but I actually really enjoyed it. It felt creepy, it felt eerie, and then it also kind of felt paranormal. But it wasn't paranormal, but it also felt paranormal, you know? But I liked it. It was a thriller. Very interesting. I gave 4 stars. I liked it. I did audiobook, so I enjoyed it. And then Hardly Strangers, A.C. Robinson, another 831 stories. Loved it. Amazing. Actually, really recommend. And Comedic Timing. Hardly Strangers and Comedic Timing, both 831 stories. Really good. It's different this time. Joss Richard. I talked about her in our book cello video in my last video. Love Josh Richard. It's different this time as second chance romance. Not really. It's like they never get together, but then they come to, yeah. Highly recommend. It's kind of a second chance romance, but they never really got together the first time. They just loved each other. Queen of Shadows, Throne of Glass reread. Highly recommend. Caraval. I read all 3 Caravals. Q1. Very fun series. Probably series overall 3.5 stars. Like, I don't think it's my holy grail, but honestly, I read Once Upon a Time before I read Caraval. I read Once Upon a Time last year. Loved it. Still not like my favorite series. Probably a 3.5 still for Once Upon a Time. Then I read Caraval, which I think I did backwards. I'm supposed to read Caraval first. But I liked it. They're really fun. They're whimsical. They're cute. I would recommend to people if they like fantasy and like romance. They're really cute. Listen for the Lie, thriller. Read the warnings. Yeah, it's really good audiobook. I would suggest do the audiobook. Don't do like paper or Libby Kindle. I did audiobook, and because it's podcast format, so it's really fun to listen to. The twists and turns are good. Ending's kind of predictable, but there's some questionable sex scenes in there. Yeah, I don't know, that's all I'm gonna say. Don't want to spoil it. I started Jade City by Fonda Lee, read the first book, have not read past in Q1. First book, I don't think I was in the right headspace to enjoy it as much, or maybe I feel like I gaslit myself that I had to give the first book 5 stars because everyone else on YouTube and TikTok and all the things like love this series and rave about it, but I gave it 3.5 stars. It was very heavy world building, very heavy like developing the plot, developing the relationships, and really it was beautiful writing. I love the development. That's a big thing for me, but it was really slow. And I think the payoff for book 2 and 3 is going to be 5 stars, and I think that's why people rave about this series personally. Even though I haven't read book 2 and 3, it seems like why this story is raved about is because the development and the work that was put into book 1. So I'm excited to read book 2 and 3. I'm probably going to savor it like fine wine and go slow because I want to get that payoff. Next, The Shadows Between Us. Very cute romantasy. It's a basic romantasy, amazing, by Trisha Levenseller. Legendary, second book in Caraval. Already talked about it. Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin. My friend Brad recommended this to me, and as someone who grew up in a religious household, it hit hard, and it was a very good book. It is beautiful literature. It's lit fic, and it's I don't want to give anything away, but John, just his family, and Gabriel hate Gabriel. But it's really interesting, and I loved it, and it hit home for me, and I love that book, and I think about it a lot, and me and my friends have talked about it a lot because it is a book that the themes are relevant today. And that's what James Baldwin's writing, it's just like, I think that's why his writing is so amazing to read because it's so relevant. Even though this was like early 1900s, I believe. Wow, it's so relevant. Amazing. Really like James Baldwin. Your Knife, My Heart. Read that duology. Did audiobook. Very fun. It's like a military romance. I don't know if that's a actual subgenre, but it's a military romance. 3.5 stars. I mean, it's fun. It's average. I don't have anything really negative or really positive about it. Like, it was average. I enjoyed it. And it's a quick duology. It's kind of fun. I don't know. It's very like enemies to lovers. You touch her, I'll kill you. You know that vibe. Oh, Between the Moon and Her Night by Jacqueline Knott. I am reading this whole series. It's a Hades and Persephone retelling. There is currently 4 books out, and I thought it was only a 4-book series. So I got to the last book in the series in Q1, or the last published book, and I thought it was the ending. So I didn't do my research because when I read the end of the book, I was like, what wrapped up? And then I googled it, and she's still writing book 5. So really good. It is kind of weird though. You have to kind of do your research for this series. I really do recommend this series, but book 1 and 2 are in like chronological order. Then book 3 is a prequel that kind of explains and gives you context, and then you jump back into the timeline for book 4. So you just got to be aware of that. Oh, By Nightfall by Michael Cunningham, lit thick. Very interesting read. Another one from my coworker, and she didn't tell me anything about it. She just told me this is how real relationships work, and this is how real life works. Because obviously, I think everyone knows when you have older coworkers, especially like when you're a young woman with older female coworkers, you get a lot of advice from them and a lot of life tips and a lot of real life conversations, and we have those quite often. And she recommended me this book to just be like, this kind of is what real marriage looks like in a certain lens. So yeah, it was interesting. 4 stars. I would recommend reading it. It's kind of slow and weird. It's lit fic. So if you like lit fic, I think you'll like it. Finale, that's the 3rd book of Carball. Already gone there. Wild Eyes, Elsie Silver, love you. A Study in Scarlet. So I started the Sherlock Holmes novels. I've only read 1 in Q1. I have the 2nd one checked out from Libby, so hopefully I'll get there soon. I really enjoyed it. It was so funny. Me and my dad were talking about it, and he was like, are you sure you're gonna be able to read these? Like, they're kind of old English, but they were easy to read to me. They were really enjoyable, or it was really enjoyable since I've only read 1. I think there's 12 of them, but it was really enjoyable. Arthur Conan Doyle made it fun. When you get to part 2, it's a little weird because it takes you into a separate story for context, but I really enjoyed it because I knew it would come back to the story, but I knew that was a lot of complaints in the reviews I read. I would say stick it on and read it, honestly. It was a fun time. I'm excited to read the next one. My Blade You're Back, 2nd book in the duology by K.M. Maranova, the military romance I read. 3 stars, very average. Fallen Stars by Mani Eru. That was we talked about it earlier. The 2nd book in the Heavenly Bodies. Love you. Wild Side, Elsie Silver. We already talked about that. The Wild Sides, The Wild Love. Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. I did the audiobook of this. 3 stars, very average. The title is very confusing because I thought it was going to be like one of those romances, you know, like Blackbird and Butcher was like serial killers dating each other, but it was just a woman who's obsessed with true crime and like a normal guy. Like, there was no serial killer involved. Yeah. Maybe I should have done more research, but I checked it out. I saw the title and I was like, that's fun. No, it was just a girl and a guy. And she's just, like, doing her doctorate on serial killers. Which is interesting to read about, also. Her doctorate, like, the information in it, very interesting. But also it was just, like, normal people. So beware. It was fun. Average. Nothing special. Oh, I started the Filthy Rich Fae series. I read book 1 and 2. Audiobooks. Honestly, a good time. I did not think, by the title, I was like, this brings me back to Wattpad days. Honestly, a good time. Enjoyed it. I would recommend. I read The Davenports by Krista Marquis. 3.5 stars. It follows these influential, is that the right word? I guess. It's like Regency era? No, I don't know. I don't remember the time. It's olden, but it's like the first African American family to kind of be in this rich white society, and they run their like own carriage business, and they're trying to get into cars. So probably the history people actually know the date of that. I don't, because I'm really bad with dates. I'm showing how ignorant I am. I'm sorry. And it was actually really interesting because it talks a lot about how even though they were rich and like in high society, they were still black. So people still treated them like shit. and how they were trying to like date other Black influential people, but there wasn't really a lot of them in that group. And it was also talking about at that time trying to get equal rights for people, and how, well, I don't want to spoil the entire book, but there's these 3 siblings. They all take very different paths, and it was a really good story. And it's a series, so I'm gonna read book 2. I have book 2 on hold at Libby, so I'm excited. I would recommend, highly recommend actually. Empire Storms, Throne of Glass to read. Wild Card, another Elsie Silver. Filthy Rich Fae, book 2. Love Filthy Rich Fae. Between Soul and Vessel is the Jacqueline Knott, Hades, and Persephone. It was the 4th book, which is the last book out. And then Collide by Bal Cabra. I think I pronounced that right. But it's a master psychology student and a hockey player, and she's doing her project on like burnout, and he is like burnout. But it's a really cute sports romance. I really liked it. It is actually a series. I think there's 5 books in the series. Very excited to read it. Yeah, and then Two Can Play, Ali Hazelwood. It's like her novella with 2 video game developers. I did audiobook. So cute. It was very short and sweet. Like, it was a novella, and it was a miscommunication trope, but low-key the miscommunication trope was cute. Like, I didn't mind it. And it was also, I think the reason I didn't mind it was because it was a miscommunication trope only for 4 hours. If it was a miscommunication trope for a 20-hour book, no. But it was a miscommunication trope for 4 hours. So it was worth it. And I was listening to it on 1.5, so much faster. So really liked it. Love Ali Hazelwood. Quicksilver, we already talked about, 4.5 stars. Recommend. Excited to read book 2. It is on my Kindle downloaded, but I'm trying to read other books first. Do Your Worst by Rosie Danon, we already talked about. Do not really highly recommend. Oh, I read my first Lynn Painter book this quarter. I have never read Lynn Painter before. I read Better Than the Movies. She writes really rom-com-y books. It was actually so cute. No smut. Very naive, I want to say. They were really cute. I liked them a lot. This one was like a high school love story, and then there's a book 2, which I found out in the last video I posted. I did not know it was a series, but there's a book 2. It's in college, so have that checked out. And then my last 2 books of the quarter, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, already talked about earlier. Really highly recommend. It's one of my top books of the quarter, probably. And then my last book, which I also highly recommend, was a lit pick. Last book of the quarter, On Earth, We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Vuong? Is that A or U, right? Vuong? Okay. It was really good. Wow. It was powerful. It was about a Vietnamese immigrant, drug addict with a schizophrenic mother, and it just honestly was beautiful poetry, and I really liked the poetry in it. So I don't know, some people don't like those types of books. Like, this book kind of gave me The Idiot vibes by Elif Botman. It was poetry-like, not really chronological order, bouncing back and forth. There was no real plot, but there was vibes, you know? So read at your own risk. But yeah, that was my quarter 1. That's my end of the quarter. After reading for Q1, I think my goal for Q2 is probably to get more 5-star books. I think that's always the goal, but hopefully I'll be more successful. Hoping and praying. Honestly, the goal is to just learn something each time I read it. That's why I have my book journal. That's why I try to dissect every book I read, so I figure out what I do like, figure out any emotions that I felt reading it, what I didn't like, trying to learn something. But yeah, very good. I'm going to finish my Throne of Glass reread, hopefully finish some series I'm in the middle of. I want to finish A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. Yeah, I say too much. I'm so sorry. But I'm excited, and so my final count was 53 for Q1. So, oh, that looks like I'm going to read 200 books this year. Oh my god, no. That's crazy. Yeah, feel really excited. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your reading stats for Q1 were and what your favorite book of Q1 was, because I'm really looking for more 5 stars. So if you have a 5-star recommendation, please send it over. I think I want to read Dire Wolves Direbound soon because I feel like that's gonna be a 5-star. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a lovely day. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, thank you.